Hi there, my name is Jackie Flietstra. I am one of the couples therapists here at Inland Empire Couples Counseling, and today I wanted to talk to you about discernment counseling, what it is, who it's for, and how it's different than traditional couples therapy. So to begin, discernment counseling is couples therapy aimed to help a couple discern or decide whether or not they want to continue their relationship. And so discernment counseling is for couples where one or both of the partners are on the fence about the relationship or maybe on the brink of breaking up or divorce and aren't really sure whether or not they want to continue the relationship. And so people in this position may have fallen out of love or have had years of hurt and resentment and really aren't sure, do I stay, do I go? Is this relationship even worth fixing? Or, is it even possible for things to change? So how discernment counseling is different than traditional couples therapy is different. There's a couple different things. One of them is in traditional couples therapy, the couple is both ready and willing to work on the relationship. And so their goals of treatment really are focused on helping the relationship improve to continue staying together. But in discernment counseling, the couple is not in that position where both people are ready and willing to work on the relationship. And so their goals of treatment really are focused on processing, their options so that they can make a decision of how to move forward. And so in that, the work there would be looking at, what are our options? And we talk about them in terms of paths. And so we go through 3 paths with you. Path 1 is, status quo. We just leave things as is. We don't actually leave the relationship, but we're also not working on it or trying to improve it. Path 2 would be considering separation or divorce. And then path 3 would be continuing to work on the relationship for a 6-month time in couples therapy, not as a promise to stay together, but to kind of push back that decision to see if enough progress can be made for us to be willing to continue staying in the relationship. So again, the purpose of the discernment counseling there, the goals of that, is just to process those paths so that we can understand the pros and cons of each, how that might impact ourselves, our relationship, or our kids, or our family, so that we can make a decision on how to move forward. The other difference between, discernment counseling and traditional couples therapy are the sessions. So in couples therapy, sessions are not limited, and they're really just kind of determined based off of the progress the couple makes towards their treatment goals. But in discernment counseling, sessions are anywhere from 1 to at most 5 sessions total. And the reason for this is in those sessions, we really are just helping the couple process those paths, the pros and cons of those decisions, how that might impact them so that they can make a decision. And if you reach the fifth session, and you haven't made a decision, that's okay. But we would just stop or have you pause therapy at that time until you can make the decision and not continue to just sit together in limbo. And then once you've kind of made the decision, you're always welcome to come back, whether that was to continue the relationship in therapy and work on that, or it was even maybe to consider divorce, and maybe you want to come back to process how do we go about this in a way that where we can co-parent together or do this transition smoothly for our family or for our kids. The other difference in sessions between, discernment counseling and traditional couples therapy is in traditional couples therapy, usually the sessions are where everyone is together. The therapist is working with the couple both together in the room. But in discernment counseling, the couple actually spends a majority of the session split. And part of that is where the therapist is working, with each individual one-on-one to process their paths in a safe space, so that they can have a little bit of room to process that. And, in the event where there's a couple where only one of the partners is leaning out and, really on the fence about the relationship, for the couple for the partner who is leaning in, no, I've determined I want us to stay together, their one-on-one time is not just focused on processing the pause. Their time would be focused on what does it look like to support my partner who is currently leaning out or on the fence, and what can I do in this space to start bringing out my best self to help the relationship. The last thing I want to say about discernment counseling is why consider discernment counseling, or why would it be helpful for you? And I can say this: research shows that many people often regret their decision of divorce later in time. And when looking back, they often feel like they weren't sure why things ended, or, what those underlying problems were, or if that could have actually have gone differently if we got the help we needed. But also some people feel like they just made a really quick decision out of anger and hurt and really didn't think about the long-term effects of that. And so in discernment counseling, each person really is given a safe space to really process that decision, so that whatever decision you make, whether that's to leave or to stay, that you can feel confident about your choice, because you will be able to know that you really thought about it from different angles and processed it, so that you can look back and say that that was a good decision for you. So I hope this was helpful for you to hear a little bit more about discernment counseling. If you have any more questions or would like to seek out help for discernment counseling, let us know. We'd love to help.